Hi, I'm Mike Adams and I'm a sales management specialist. Well, I wasn't always a sales management specialist. I trained as an engineer, and in 1996 I was working as a petrophysicist, as a technical expert in the oil and gas industry, when my boss called me into his office and asked whether I would be willing to take on a sales role and move to Norway. Well, move to Norway sounded good. Sales role, not so good. But the sense of adventure got the better of me, and my 8-month pregnant wife and our 2-year-old son and I, we moved to Norway. And looking back on that first year as a new salesperson, I know that I was extremely unskilled, and yet I won a really significant deal. I won a very large corporate deal for our new software, and I was celebrated as the hero. Now, of course, I know that I was just lucky. I got in the way of the right type of customer who was going to buy. But nonetheless, it made me think I could be good at sales. And by 2002, I was leading a sales team in Russia, very successful, hiring Russians and working throughout the former Soviet Union, when it really became time to move back and live back in Australia after 17 years traveling overseas. And so we chose to settle in Melbourne, where we didn't really have a network, and there is not really an oil and gas industry, so the job prospects didn't look good. In fact, I was quite anxious after a few months that maybe I wouldn't be able to get a job. But I was very fortunate. I landed a role with a telecommunications equipment provider, selling mobile network equipment to a very large telecommunications carrier. I used to joke to my friends that I was perfectly suited for that role, apart from not knowing anything about telecommunications or the main customer or my company's products and services. And yet I had some success, and by 2007 I was running a sales team back in Kuala Lumpur. We moved overseas again, had 140 sales and technical salespeople. And at that point, I decided to change industry again. I went back into the oil and gas software business for a while, and then we came back to Australia. I worked in facility services, and then telecommunications, but a different part of telecommunications, and then industrial safety. I was certainly quite confident to be able to move from industry to industry. When I look back on that first change, I'm pretty convinced that really it was the stories that I was able to tell about my successes that made my employers think that, this is someone who would be able to succeed even though they didn't know the industry. Since 2014, I've been applying my hard-earned skills to helping other companies with their sales teams and helping salespeople to succeed. And if you're interested in sales team performance or in sales in general, then please connect. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks very much. I'm Mike Adams.